Okay.
Take off your shoes.
Take off your shoes. Sure.
We heard about the topic is going to encourage us not to run fastest recoverer. Emad is an entrepreneur and runner. And since we are on the topic of running, I pulled up some facts about running. The most indulgent and the luxurious marathon in the world is somewhere in France, but where else? It starts with a sip of wine. Then you navigate through the vineyards, where they'll be greeted with 22 refreshment stands and 20-minute gourmet food stalls, plus a red carpet for the last 100 meters. So that's sort of interesting as far as running is concerned. We as human beings are the best long-distance runners on earth, beating horses and cheetahs. I didn't know that.
Thank you, President. Well, PDG Nijad, the Rotarians, the guests. This could possibly be the shortest speech ever. Don't Trump. Unless, of course, you want some details as to why I'm giving you this advice. So here is the story of my life with running. My life on the run. And what you should avoid. You can see this picture on the screen. 30 years ago, I was happy playing tennis. Joseph Musa, you can see yourself. Anybody else recognize it? This was Manama Club against Salmania a long time ago. Remember? And we won that. I was happy playing tennis for our Manama Club against Salmania and competing in Manama's. This was me, and this is also me, competing in the bikeathon, which we also used to do in Manama. But Manama had, remember, the bikeathon? Wasn't life good at that time? And then a family member asked me to take her place in what they called a marathon relay. And I said, yeah, how long is that? And she said, well, the leg that I have to do is only 3 kilometers. I said, 3 kilometers, I'm a tennis player, I'm a biker. And she said, well, you can practice with my bag up. I said, no problem, 3K, no problem. So the first K you're sprinting, second half K you're jogging, next half K you're brisk walking, and then you are walking. And it's so embarrassing. By the way, a K is a kilometer in running speed. And then so I quickly pretend to be hobbling to my car and run away, unable to finish a 3 kilometer leg. So that's mistake number 1. Don't do that. If you can't run, just leave it. That's what I should have done. So I started running some afternoons alone to be able to run 3 kilometers without stopping. Very quickly I attained that and got introduced to a group of runners calling themselves the Hash House Harriers. Anyone knows the Hash House Harriers? Yes. So we got introduced to the Hash House Harriers, and that's mistake number 2. Because now that you have a group of decent guys who plan to run with you, you have a kind of a commitment to run. The group then evolved into the current Bahrain Road Runners, which Sheikh Ibrahim was supposed to be with us today, and unfortunately could not, and he is their honorary president. Then these guys persuade you that 3 kilometers is a joke. Actually, I think I have a picture of the next 3 kilometers. This was my 3 kilometer race. That's myself and my fans. One of those fans is actually here. Stand up, fan. Okay. And then before you know it, you are running 5 kilometers and 10 kilometers at a good pace. You've now been truly bitten. So you go and buy yourself a pair of good running shoes and even a stopwatch. That's mistake number 3. Don't do that. Because once you do that, it's irreversible. So your next target to madness is what they call the cross island. And that is a 17 kilometer from east coast to west coast of Bahrain, through the desert, in valleys, over the Jebel, through mud, over rocks, and ankle deep in sand. It really makes you appreciate asphalt. You think that you must be, that must be the end of endurance. But then you realize that the running opium is fully at work. You are gone, man. Absolutely gone. And it must be the half marathon next. That's about 20 kilometers. Actually, it's 21.095 kilometers, to be exact. I did that in '89, when Farid was recovering from the first problem to the next problem. While he was doing his business, I was running half marathons, and I tell you, I should have joined you. Where was I? And I promised myself that I only have one more target before quitting this stupid sport. And that was obviously the marathon. Anyone recognize anyone here? Ex-Manama Rotary? Emad Almoayed, he was my mentor. I say, you know your friend. And the marathon is twice the half marathon. But just feels like 3 to 4 times the half marathon. I did that in 1919. It's 4 laps of Awali. I don't know who that girl is, but she just happened to be next to me. I think she was trying something. I remember I didn't win, obviously. And I did that again, like what the loneliness of the long distance runner. Nowadays, if you see marathons, you see more people than that. But I did that, yes, I know the shorts were very short at that time too. But I'll keep that on the screen for a while. And I did that race again a few years later and actually came 10th, which is not bad in marathon terms. Except, of course, that year wasn't a very good year for participants. In fact, there were only 11 participants. And thank God for giving me my best friend, Isa, who is here with me today, who ran with me that race and came 11th. What would I do without you? And then you introduce, where are we? That's the first medal. And that's the running group. And then you introduce your children to the sport. These are my 2 daughters. And they start to beat you. And they do that much sooner than you think. So again, don't let them. So where are we? Again, next generation, and that's boys also here. And then that's the next generation. And then the real mistake you make is when you introduce the generation after that too. And him. Okay. And ever since then, I've been running a full or half marathon every about year or every 2 years, a full or a half marathon. And and I'm always traveling overseas with a group of like-minded guys, which is not a compliment for them. London, where is it? Yeah, there's some more runners. This is the color run. This is a group called the Jurassic Dinosaurs, and they're not very young, and we have a team, and it's a very nice group. And these are the VIPs of the Jurassic Dinosaurs. So London is from Greenwich to Buckingham Palace, and that's beautiful. Paris, from the Champs-Élysées through Paris and back to the Arc de Triomphe. That needs a presentation by itself. Athens is the original one. Istanbul is from Asia to Europe over the Bosphorus. Prague or Prague. Rotterdam over the canals. New York from Staten Island to Central Park. Geneva from the nearby hills to Lake Leman. Each leaving everlasting memories, but costing you a fortune in flight and hotel bills. So don't do it, because money is more important than fun. Okay, that's Paris. Paris Warmer, Dr. you are there. That's Athens, with the medals. Athens, when we ran it, was the 2500th anniversary of the original marathon in 490 minus whatever BC. This is Dubai, the Bahraini contingent, which is more than the Dubaians in that race, in Dubai. And this is Beirut. This is Beirut last year. And last year today, in fact, because today is Beirut Marathon. And a group of us were supposed to be there, but it had canceled. A beautiful, one of the most beautiful races. And that's Rotary on the run. There's someone else here who joined us. Okay, but then you meet some VIPs. And this guy, anyone know this guy? Lord Sebastian. Oh. Okay. He won many things. And then there is this guy, a fellow runner. He beat me, in fact. Actually, with this guy, makes you appreciate lots of life. This gentleman is an amputee, and he ran the race with a what do you call it? Metal leg.
Prosthetic.
Aesthetic thing. And when I finished it, we had just finished, and I was really having a real big cramp in my calf. I could barely walk, and I was pulling my leg along, trying to get to the hotel, and this guy overtakes me, turns to me and says, "You want to change?" And I said, "No, thank you." And then suddenly the pain was gone, and I just walked like a normal person again. Another VIP. Music on the run. Okay, another couple of VIPs. That's the Prime Minister and the Lord. Number 3 is the Prime Minister of Lebanon, Saad Hariri. And I don't know if the problems he's facing now are running related. But if he had asked me, I would have said, "Don't run." And that's the new goal, because there are more people wanting to run than there used to be people who wanted to play golf. Another medal. Okay, New York, that's the Big Apple. Whom did we see there? It's one big celebrity. A lady who said she was oh, this is with the Bahraini flag, keeping the red flag flying high. And then there's Panda Anderson, who ran with us. Anyone remember Panda Anderson? You probably do. Well, this is Panda Anderson at the beginning of the race.
This is one reason to run.
Well, you will see the reason not to run in a minute. That's Pamela Anderson at the beginning. And that's Pamela Anderson in the middle. And coming up now is Pamela Anderson when she finished.
Don't run.
In these big marathons, you get to see so many other non-running related attractions, and I don't mean header. One of the most memorable was the Barcelona one, which we did in March earlier this year. So yes, even this year, I was crazy enough to actually do one. The marathon there happened to coincide with another sporting activity, which is the football hour. There are a couple of excited Bahrainis. And these are the Almoayeds there representing you. And this is the historic match. For those of you who are this is the historic match for those of you who are keen on football, which I certainly am not. Do you remember that this was the match between Barcelona and Paris Saint-Germain? How many of you remember the score of that match?
It was
6-1. And 3 goals were scored in the last 5 minutes, and we were there. One problem that this is the Bahraini delegation as well, and this is Barcelona. One problem you will have to contend with is what do you do with the medals? These are finishers' medals, not winners. And that doesn't matter, because you never race against others. You are always racing against yourself. And as the Bahrain social runners say, there is no finish line. That's what they were saying, isn't it?
Yes.
We started a group, no, hang on. We started a group of 3 in the early 1990s to meet once a week on Monday early evening, go for a run near the traffic directorate, then sit for a cup of tea and a light snack. The group is still going, and the number has grown. If you are interested to join, if you are crazy enough to join, Captain Tawfiq is here, and he will take your name.
Please.
And then when you've done all that and you have been warned, and then someone tells you about a book on running. You read it, then find another. And one day, someone even asks you to give a talk about running. And you really can't stop now, can you? But I think I left. This is our group. This is the group now, which started as 3. And this is the last one, one of the recent runs. But I said I can't stop now, but I think I better. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Pastor Governor Emad. He's more than willing to take any questions. He's not going to run away from the questions.
What do you suggest for a first-time marathon runner?
First time marathon?
Yes.
One time.
How long have you run?
3 kilometers.
I'll give you a copy of
By
this.
myself.
Go to slide 2.
I'll go to slide 2. No. I think, seriously?
Seriously,
Give
yes.
your name to Sophia and join this group, because they run a few times every week, and there's a social part of it. You get to know some people who are. But one of the biggest problems with running is to make yourself get out and run after a long day. But when you've already made a commitment to a group that I'm going to be there, you feel ashamed and you say, okay, I'll do it. And that gives you the commitment to actually go. And once you are out, they have a morning run on Fridays at 5:30 a.m. 5:30 a.m. And when you are leaving your bed at 4:30 to run, to go to South Bahrain, South Island, and to run, and you think, am I crazy? But then at 5:30, when you started running, at 5:45, you think, my God, the people who are still in bed are crazy. Yeah, try that. Anything else?
But mostly, I think you missed the point. It says, don't run.
We're still waiting for that. Yeah, she's waiting.
For what?
Don't run.
Did I say
How many marathons have you done so far? And how many countries altogether?
I have done 12. Yeah, I've done
And how many countries?
10. Yeah, I think I've done Bahrain twice and I did Paris twice, and the rest wasn't issued in a different country. But this is it's a very small number. Muhammad, how many?
6, I did.
6, Tawfiq?
16 or 18?
16, 18. So Hassan, not yet.
Yet.
Isa.
3, 4.
But Isa did the ultra marathon as well in South Africa. Ultras are 60.
56. It was 56.
56?
Anything more than 42.
Yeah, 56. That's South Africa from coast to coast.
2 ocean run.
Two ocean runs, sorry. Yeah.
So one more question. What do we need to do to prepare our bodies for running?
Just show up.
You need to prepare your mind. And
Like body-wise, I mean physically, do we need to, yeah.
I think the hardest part of training is showing up. I mean, if you can be consistent in showing up,
That's it.
that's it.
What about the mind you're saying? Is it mind, you're saying train the mind?
yeah, because this is what Hassan is saying, that once you are out and once you are with people, the biggest mistake people do is what I made in the 1980s when my sister said, come and run in my place. And I went like mad, so fast.
Yeah.
That is a big mistake if you are running a long distance. They say, but you go at talking pace. So as if you were talking to someone next to you. And it helps if there is someone not standing next to you. Because if you are walking alone and running alone and you are talking, people think you're crazy. And many of those runners are actually crazy, but they cover it by running in a group to pretend that they are not crazy. Does that make sense?
Can I say 2 words?
Nah?
Can I answer in 2 words?
Please.
Yes, you won't feel it unless you live the spirit of the sport. When you live the spirit among the people, variety of nationalities, age group, sex, religion, I mean, girls, boys, young, ages. Live with them and run with them, and so you will feel.
Marathon.
I jog myself, but haven't done it in a group.
A marathon is very taxing.
By myself.
Marathon is very, very tiring. And in fact, Pamela Anderson, I missed this to get the speed. But Pamela Anderson, when asked, this was her first marathon, and it was the same year that I did it, and she said that the last few miles was like giving birth. So now I know what giving birth is like.
Thank you. Just to share very quickly the story, I have a runner in the family, my daughter runs, and she was living in Canada, and she came out, I want to run here, and I said, why don't you go with, I know a gentleman who runs. She said, really, how old is he, and do they run, are they serious? You know, typical young kids coming out of the West thinking, we don't do anything in small town Bahrain. So it was August, I remember that, it was August, and you all decided to run in the afternoon at 4 o'clock on the beach. I have never seen my daughter more deflated when she came back. She said, my God, what was that? She said, I was embarrassed running with these guys and they were so good. So this is the level of dedication these guys have. So hats off to you, congratulations, and thank you very much for your lovely talk. We really enjoyed it, and we have our gold-plated certificate for you, of course.
Yes.
The bed much more valuable than all the medals.
Add them for the medals.
Yes, please.
Shall we do it here?
No, here, because everybody will come down.
Come closer.
Down, yes. This, by the way, is Reuters.
Have a lovely week, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Rotarians. Look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming.
Welcome, brother.
I'm sure I'm going to be very, very fascinated with the pictures. Saad? Guys?
And yes, please. Right them, right them. Yes. Beautiful.
هذا سيلفي الحين بسوي.